Operation Barbarossa was the code name for the Axis invasion of the Soviet Union, starting on Sunday, June 22, 1941, during World War II. The operation stemmed from Nazi Germany's ideological aims to conquer the Western Soviet Union so that it could be repopulated by Germans to use Slavs as a slave labor force for the Axis war effort, and to seize the oil reserves of the Caucasus and the agricultural resources of Soviet territories. In the 2 years leading up to the invasion, Germany and the Soviet Union signed political and economic pacts for strategic purposes. Nevertheless, the German High Command began planning an invasion of the Soviet Union in July 1940, which Adolf Hitler authorized on December 18, 1940. Over the course of the operation, about 4 million Axis personnel, the largest invasion force in the history of warfare, invaded the Western Soviet Union along a 2,900-kilometer front. In addition to troops, the Wehrmacht employed some 600,000 motor vehicles and between 600,000 and 700,000 horses for non-combat operations. The offensive marked an escalation of the war, both geographically and in the formation of the Allied coalition. Operationally, German forces achieved major victories and occupied some of the most important economic areas of the Soviet Union, mainly in the Ukrainian Soviet Socialist Republic, and inflicted as well as sustained heavy casualties. Despite these Axis successes, the German offensive stalled in the Battle of Moscow, and subsequently the Soviet winter counteroffensive pushed German troops back. The Red Army absorbed the Wehrmacht's strongest blows and forced the unprepared Germans into a war of attrition. The Wehrmacht would never again mount a simultaneous offensive along the entire strategic Soviet Axis front. The failure of the operation drove Hitler to demand further operations of increasingly limited scope inside the Soviet Union, such as Case Blue in 1942 and Operation Citadel in 1943, all of which eventually failed. The failure of Operation Barbarossa proved a turning point in the fortunes of the Third Reich. Most importantly, the operation opened up the Eastern Front, in which more forces were committed than in any other theater of war in world history. The Eastern Front became the site of some of the largest battles, most horrific atrocities, and highest casualties for Soviet and Axis units alike, all of which influenced the course of both World War II and the subsequent history of the 20th century. The German army captured 5 million Red Army troops who were denied the protection guaranteed by the Hague Conventions and the 1929 Geneva Convention. A majority of Red Army POWs never returned alive. The Nazis deliberately starved to death or otherwise killed 3.3 million prisoners, as well as a huge number of civilians through the quote hunger plan unquote that aimed at largely replacing the Slavic population with German settlers. Nazi death squads known as Einsatzgruppen and gassing operations murdered over 1 million Soviet Jews as part of the Holocaust.